Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So, hi everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on. We're really excited for this episode.
So excited.
I was gonna close the door.
Oh, that's perfect.
So introduce yourself.
Awesome. My name is Sierra. I'm a makeup artist in New Jersey, and my business is Artsi Artistry.
Awesome. So tell us like a little bit about how you got your start, like what's your background as far as like your education, like kind of all of that.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in South Jersey, right near Philly, with both my parents and two sisters. I had originally set my eyes on doing dental hygiene. And then when I went to school for it, I kind of quickly saw that it wasn't for me. So I ended up going to college and getting my degree in science. And then I knew that I wanted to do something in the beauty industry. I had worked for a few salons at that time. So then I started aesthetics. I went to school for skincare at a beauty school near me in South Jersey, Rosary and Voorhees. And then I ended up getting my license and then just pursuing makeup full time.
Wow, good for you. That's
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you kind of bridge the gap from when you were like working at a salon to when you decided you wanted to open your own business and go out on your own?
So I originally had worked for the salon for a few years in South Jersey, moved to North Jersey and worked for a salon, and I had grew my social media. I was really working on growing my social media, and my social media page is Artsi. It was like a play on words for my name, Sierra, because I didn't want to do something like Makeup by Sierra.
Yeah.
And I was working near the reception desk doing makeup, and I would continuously get clients, and they would say, I'm here for Artsy Artistry, or Artsy Artistry instead of Sierra. And so one day it just clicked to me that I was like, wait, maybe these people are coming from my social media that I'm working so hard to do.
Yeah.
So within the week, I left my job, which I truly adored the salon I worked for, and I started my own business within that week. I was like, you know what? If I could get all these clients continuously, in demand, then I can do it. So
yeah. I would love to know, like, what's your earliest memory of makeup? Like, I feel like it's such a pivotal moment for young girls, like when the first time that they do their makeup or they get to buy makeup.
For sure.
Like, was that like something you always like looked back to and you were like, I really want to be passionate about like what I'm doing for work?
Yeah. Well, my mom was definitely a girly girl. So she really had us like on a girly girl routine. So we would always get our nails done, but really she would always take us to MAC. Like MAC was huge back then.
Yeah.
She would get tons of stuff from MAC. And so when I would go there, I would always love the cool people I would meet. Like they were always so welcoming and fun, and they'd be like, you want to try this, you want to do that, and I'm like, wait, they're so cool. I thought they were like the coolest people ever. So I think that my earliest point was like once a week my mom would go restock her stuff at MAC. I'd go with her and I'd be like looking at these people like, oh my god, they're so cool. And I just kind of always loved being like a girly girl. We were a very girl household.
Yeah. That is such a core memory, like going in and like picking out your makeup. And I swear I had like the same like compact for like until I was like 18. I was like, I think I need to like throw this out. It's not good anymore.
Literally same.
Those are definitely like such fond memories as like a young girl. So it's cool that that stuck with you.
No, 100%.
So nice to like be able to like tap back into that.
And I love meeting like young girls now, and they're always asking me questions about makeup. They see stuff on TikTok, they're like, do you like this product? And I'm like, wow, I'm the cool girl now that they like.
Seriously.
So it's cool.
Did you have like other creative hobbies as a kid?
Creative hobbies. I played piano.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't really a creative person. I was very a scholastic person growing up. My dad is really like a corporate guy, and he's very scholastic. So I always thought I was going to follow suit. So I was very surprised, along with my whole family, very surprised when I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this college thing anymore. Like, I want to just finish up and do makeup. So I think that a lot of the stuff that I did as a kid revolved around like school, other than playing piano. So my mom's a photographer. She had that creative side. So I think that I don't know, maybe my brain clicked one day and I was like, I'm tapping into the creative side.
Totally.
So yeah.
Nice. I guess like how have you used social media as a tool to grow your business? Because you have amassed like an insane following. Your content's amazing. Like, did that kind of take time? Did you always kind of have like that very like social media focused center for your business?
No, I think everything I like making pretty and aesthetic. So whether it's like my house or like makeup, obviously, or my Instagram, I like am very particular about what I post, and I like people will see my friends when we're doing food. I'm like, no, I gotta go again. I don't know. I just making things pretty. So it wasn't really social media. It was just sharing my outlet of creativity that I think that like gathered. I like posting pictures, and like I like making sure like the lighting was perfect and all that, because my mom's a photographer. So she kind of gave me like a few tips and keys on how to make everything look aesthetically pleasing. So I don't know if it was technically social media, but it was more just like sharing an outlet of something that I like, and talking to people about different things. When I post things, people DM me and we'll talk about products, and it's just all about the girl talk. I like love talking about like makeup, hair, beauty, all that stuff. So it kind of just came with the time.
Yeah, you have such a cool page. Like, where do you get your inspiration from? Is it kind of like other posts on social media, or do you have like your own kind of way of doing things?
So for inspiration, whether it comes down to when it comes down to makeup, I think my inspiration is travel. Like I travel a lot. I love finding inspiration, whether it's like architecture, art, different things like God's beauty, whether it's like the ocean. I love traveling, and when I come back from something, I feel like, okay, like I can go for like another year of just like creating beautiful things. When it comes to social media, I don't have like a really big routine. I see these influencers are like, okay, I'm getting 3 posts from this content that I created today. No, I just like see things and I'm like, that's a cool trend. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do it. That sounds fun. So I wish I had like a little bit more of like a routine. I'm trying to work on being more like scheduled. But yeah, I'll see things, or like I'll randomly think of things late at night. I hear that creatives think late at night. So I'm like always up till like 1 a.m. And then I'm like in bed, I'm like, writing that down, doing that tomorrow. So that's kind of how I do things. I wish I was a little bit more structured, but
as far as like where your clients find you, do you feel like now it's like mostly through social media? Is it word of mouth now that you've like kind of been in the industry for a while?
I really think it's referrals. At first, at one point it was social media. People like saw really pretty like pictures and makeup, and they really were like drawn to that. But then it kind of started going through like referrals, and like I feel like once someone trusts you, like a friend's like, oh my god, she's really good, they're so quick to book. And so I'm really grateful that that's kind of where the primary source of my business is at this point.
That's great. What do you mainly focus on? Do you do event makeup? Is it weddings? Like, kind of talk to us about like the different services that you offer.
I kind of only do bridal at this point.
Okay, nice.
I'll do like events, like large events, like I just did like a swimsuit week and stuff like that. Events like that, cool. Which are like bigger events. But I primarily have my focus on all of my brides.
Okay.
But I try not to like box myself in. So if I get an inquiry that I'm available for, that may be an opportunity that I'm looking to like align myself with, then I'll kind of go ahead with that opportunity.
Yeah, that's such like a beautiful part of owning your own business. Like you really can create your own schedule and
For
like
sure.
seek opportunities, and like
For
if you want to focus on one thing, you can focus on one thing. If you see something you like the freedom is there, and it's
100%.
so important to take advantage of it, because you never know like what one
yes
can lead to.
100%.
So that's awesome.
For sure.
How do you keep up with like the latest trends? Like, are there trends in makeup, and is it?
Yeah, there's definitely trends in makeup. I wouldn't pose myself as a trendy makeup artist. I wish I'd like kind of followed with trends, but I try to do something that like is timeless and that will stick through. A lot of the makeup artists that I adore growing up had like a timeless look. They're still doing like not the same glam. They're innovative, but it's similar. Like when I see a certain makeup artist, I'm like, oh, that's that person's makeup. I can tell immediately.
Oh, wow.
So I try to do something that's signature, that when someone sees my makeup, they're like, oh, okay, Sierra did that makeup. Trends like on Instagram and TikTok are so fun to do, but I kind of like try to focus my time on like a signature look and like keeping up with that look.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like also the products change so much that like that's where you can kind of pull in like the new stuff and like experiment there. Like even if you want to have a signature look, like I feel like I've done my makeup the same way for like once I found a way that I liked it, I did the same way, but like what's changed has been 100% the products for me.
Agreed with that.
Because there's so many new products coming out. It's like so fun to like try it out.
Yeah, I'm always at Sephora trying something new.
Totally.
For sure.
Do you feel like you kind of market yourself to a particular like style or like person, or do you feel like, or I guess the question I have is, if someone comes to you and they want a particular look, are you kind of open to doing that, or do people come to you because they like the way that you do the makeup?
I think both. Okay. So I think the majority of my brides will come and say, I like your style, like, can you do something? But then I'm the one that tries to hone in on what they like about it, because everyone's different. You know, I see beautiful posts on Instagram all the time of like gorgeous makeup, but I know it would not look good on me.
Yeah.
So I try to hone on what they like. I try to see their makeup, how they do their makeup, things that they enjoy about themselves, their features, and then kind of like more so cater it to them. But yeah, if someone shows me a particular style, I'm like, okay, let's do it. If you're totally down with doing everything, I'm totally down with doing it too. But the majority of my brides and referrals are like, okay, like this is the style, this is what I want to do, and we kind of go from there.
Do you feel like makeup also involves a lot of like, I don't know if color matching is the right word, but if someone has blonde hair and blue eyes versus like darker features, or their skin tone's different, like how do you kind of, is that just experience where like you evaluate like all of those features and you're like, this blush is what's gonna look good on you?
Definitely experience. Everything comes down to cool and warm tones, like for people. So knowing what works best with different like variations of colors and hair colors and eye colors and all of that definitely plays a key role. It's normally like after years of experience, you find on yourself what you think works best. But I kind of know what works best and what you're gonna like, because it's color. It really comes down to color theory. But sometimes people surprise me and they like totally opposite of what I would suggest, and that's okay. And we kind of do whatever, you know, they feel they like best on themselves.
I feel like I've always had a fear of like getting my makeup done just because of the horror stories that I've heard. Like I just have flashbacks to like prom makeup, where like the girls will like go and get their makeup done at prom, and it's like did not match, like nothing about it was the vibe at all.
I think for especially matching foundation, when I worked at MAC, I had a manager that was really hard on me, and when I first started makeup, I was like, how am I gonna match all these people? Like this is impossible. He would like, if someone came in and was like looking for a foundation, he'd be like, Sierra, go. So I think, I don't know, he just like drilled it into me, like you're gonna figure it out. So I get that a lot when people are like, I'm doing master classes and stuff, they'll ask me about color matching, and I'll explain like a few of my tips, but it really comes down to like experience and having like a kit that like you trust, and like you have a range of things that you can do. But
what can someone expect? So when you book a bride and the first time you meet her, like what does the consultation look like?
I am like a yapper. I talk so much. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I overshared. So I talk so much. So I think that someone can expect talking. I ask so many questions with my brides, not only makeup related, but I want to get to know them. Like I just came from a family of loud girls. So I'm always talking to them, and I'm always ready to talk to my brides. So definitely a lot of talking, a lot of questions. I'm asking like, how'd you meet your fiance? Blah, blah. I always tell my brides, like when they look a little overwhelmed, I'm like, you're definitely on the hot seat when you come to do a trial with me, because I'm asking 1,000 questions, but it's just because I want to get to know them and talk to them and create a relationship.
Nice.
What has been your biggest challenge in opening like a business and running it yourself?
Other than the natural challenges of just like working with general public and keeping up with like inquiries and stuff like that, I think oddly enough, my biggest challenge was doing my taxes with my accountant the first year. I was like, what is going on? There were so many rules, and I was just sitting there with him, and I'm like, okay. But after I figured out that the first year, I think everything was smooth sailing. Just daily challenges just include just keeping up with like, you know, the clients' questions, inquiries. Like I feel like it's never ending, but then I always try to look on the bright side. I'm like so grateful that people want me to do their makeup. So like when I'm overwhelmed, I'm like, Sierra, just be grateful, like, you know. So yeah, I think that my biggest challenge was definitely doing taxes the first year.
I'm so curious, what are some of the differences between bridal makeup versus everyday makeup? Like what are you kind of making sure is like locked in when you're...
So I think it's the layering. We do so much more layering with bridal that like some people don't even realize, because it has to stay all day. It's also very, very big on attention to detail, because every detail has to be perfect. Everything's photographed. You're primarily photographed for 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours. So making sure that every part of their face, along with their like décolleté and everything, looks so pretty. Figuring out what type of dress type that they have so that their like skin looks cohesive. It's just like so much more that I feel is involved than like just a regular like going out makeup look.
Yeah.
And just making sure like the makeup's locked in and stays all day. So important.
Do you do any sort of like, I don't want to say continuing education, but like how do you, like where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Are you trying to grow? Are you trying to expand? Are you really just focusing on like, you know, building your skills? Like,
I think in the next few years, I am trying to say yes to opportunities that align with what I want to do long term. And what I want to do long term is traveling for brides. So I've recently started saying like yes to traveling in different places for brides because that's my long term goal. That's the niche I want to stay in. Traveling really anywhere for anyone that will fly me out to travel. So I think that's what I'm doing right now. I have a team of girls. So making sure that they grow too. Like I think it's so important. A lot of the places I worked always were really big on growing the team as well. So making sure that my girls continue to grow along with me continuing to grow, and then eventually landing in just being like a travel makeup artist.
Wow, I didn't realize you had a team. Talk about how like you found those girls and like kind of the qualities that you look for in someone that you're working with.
So I was getting so overwhelmed with the workload that I was getting, and I had worked with a makeup artist once, and I looked at her makeup, and it was just a friend that I had asked to do a wedding with me, and I was like, oh my goodness, her makeup looks gorgeous. And then I was like, you know what, why wouldn't I have a team of girls that have similar styles to me that could you know, help people that are like asking for, you know, makeup artists on specific days. So I posted randomly on a story, and I was like looking for a team of girls, and I had like 110 inquiries, and I was like so overwhelmed. I'm like, how am I going to handle this? So I basically vetted it and tried to look for girls that had similar styles to me. As makeup artists, we all have different styles, so we have variations. Yeah. But something that someone could say, okay, that's similar to her. Because if you're inquiring for me, you don't want to do go with someone that's completely different style of makeup. After I did that, I did like a phone interview with them to see like their personality. I like bubbly people that are going to make people feel comfortable. And then I had them come in for like a trial test run where they'll have like a model, and then they'll do their thing with the model. And then I ended up with like 10 girls. And they're the girls that I've had for about 2 years, and they're just phenomenal. I love them. That's awesome. So talented, so responsible. You know, on a wedding day, you have to be timely. So that's something I definitely look for, because if you're running late, the whole schedule is running late. You're making the photographer run late. So I can't have girls that are coming late. You have to be on time. I have to be on time. So, yeah, just like those qualities, timeliness, responsibility. I'm in just like really good work, being bubbly. I found those in those 10 girls. And every time I get an inquiry for someone that's like, oh, I want to join the team, I'm like, I do not want to add anyone, because it's like such a perfect little bubble of the people I have now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so important too, because you're working with, you know, brides. It's their special day. 100%. It's high tensions a lot of time. They're very stressed out. They're overwhelmed. So like finding someone that can kind of not only perform and, you know, for sure, like with results that are, you know, up to your standards, but also deal with like a lot of personalities, I'm sure, and stress and all of that. But yeah, the wedding scene is definitely tough, but I'm sure it's really rewarding, like being able to create like for these women on their day.
I was talking to someone last week. They were working at a salon, and they told me that weddings are amazing because you're on the best day of someone's life every single time you go to work. Like sometimes at hair salons, and like when I was working at salons as well, doing makeup, you know, there's some sad times you're doing makeup for, but when you're doing a wedding, it's like the best day. Everyone's like high and excited, and it's just like, I didn't realize how blessed I am that every day I go in and everyone's like, yes,
mimosas.
Mimosas. Let's go. It's like the same thing every week, but I love it. I'm like, again.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you want to do some rapid fire questions? So we did not send these to you. Cool. We have some fun rapid fire questions. Cool. And yeah, you can, some are a little bit deeper, some are more like fun. All right. So the first one is matte or dewy finish?
I would say dewy finish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite makeup trend right now?
Favorite makeup trend right now? Super blush cheeks.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Love a blush.
Very nice. Favorite place you've traveled to?
Italy. I can't stop going back. I love it there.
Are you Italian?
No, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican, but I literally wish I was because I go there all the time.
Where in Italy have you gone to?
We've gone kind of everywhere. Florence, Rome. I just got back from like the Capri, Sorrento, Amalfi area.
That's the best.
We were in Positano. We stayed there, and I love it there.
Oh my gosh, the food, the water.
There's
like,
never a bad
it's
thing.
Like
it's never a bad day in Italy.
Most frequently used brand.
NARS.
Nice.
Love NARS.
What does success mean to you?
Success to me means being happy in your everyday life. I don't think success is quantified by the amount of followers or how much money you have, but just genuinely being happy with the people, your life every single day. I don't know. I travel a lot, but I try to make every day feel like I'm traveling, like a good day, just being happy. So I think success is truly being happy within yourself and your life.
Awesome. I love that. What's one makeup rule you love to break?
Using brushes for whatever. I mean, if the brush says like it's a liner brush, I really don't care. I could use it for lip. I could use it for anything. And sometimes when I do master classes and like I'll have my favorite brush, people are like, I'm like, so this is an eyeliner brush, but we're using it for your lip. Like, I really don't care about the brush situation. If I feel like it could work for the look that I'm doing, I'm using it.
That's awesome. Day at the beach or day in the city?
Beach. I was there yesterday. I love the beach. I can't stay away.
Same. Who is one person that you would love to do their makeup?
Kim Kardashian, obviously. Nice. I mean, she's beautiful, but I also think that she has such a loyalty to her glam team. And like that's something makeup artists don't realize that a lot of celebrities don't have. They'll just use anyone, whoever wants to give it to them for free or whatever it may have you. Like Kim's flying her team everywhere, no matter where she's at. And I just love a loyal client.
Yeah, that's awesome. Favorite type of cuisine?
Puerto Rican food. Yeah.
What's something that like someone should try?
So everyone says it's acquired taste, but it's called like acapulco. So it's basically like a fried fritter with like meat inside.
Ooh, okay.
It's so good. I love it so much. But some people like it, some people hate it. So yeah.
Nice. And the last question is, what is the last TV show that you binge watched?
Last TV show that I binge watched. I don't know. What did I last binge watch? I don't know why I can't get it in my head. I can't think of a specific one, but if I'm watching a TV show, it's crime. So I can give you that. It's really always crime. Everyone's like, you're crazy, but I'm trying to think of the last. Oh, what did Jen do? Yeah, it's a crime show on Netflix. Yeah. About this girl and her family and how they died and that whole like
oh my gosh,
that investigation detective thing.
Do you watch it like at night, like as you're about to?
Yeah, like a crazy person for sure. Like lights off, like just in my blanket watching. And then when people ask me, I'm like, I need to be aware. That's why I'm watching it. I need to be aware of my surroundings. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what is some advice that you can give to an aspiring entrepreneur, whether they're looking to get into makeup or just in general? Like, what are some of the tips that you can give them to kind of navigate this like crazy world?
Make sure you love it. If you don't love it, it's going to be so hard on your day to day. Every day for me when I'm working doesn't always feel like work to me. So some things feel like work when I have to do like admin stuff, but the majority of the time that I'm working, it feels like doing something that I love. And when you're passionate about it, I think you're going to be undeniably successful because you're determined to be successful. And so I really think that my advice would be, if you're going to do something for yourself and be an entrepreneur, it's 24/7 work. But if you're willing to do the work and put the work in, I think that anyone can be successful in anything that they do.
That's great advice. So tell everyone where they can find you. Instagram, website, any information you want to just give.
Yeah, everything that I have is Artsi Artistry. So my Instagram, Artsi Artistry, ARTSI Artistry. My TikTok, Artsi Artistry. My website is Artsi Artistry. So yeah, you can find me there, Artsi Artistry.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
We're very excited to have you, and I'm excited for everyone to hear your story.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Bye.
Bye.